Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Company Heroes 1 replay. Spawn on the south side as a Panzer Elite player, we have Spanky. Spawn on the north side as a US player, we have 486819110. See, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. What could be 8 numbers? I think Steam IDs are 16, so what could be 8 numbers? Look at my numpad, see if there's any pattern to those numbers, but I can't see a pattern to those numbers either. Oh, the car's got the capture the munitions point here. Panzer Grenadiers being up with the G43s, eyeing for one of these garrisons. Perhaps this one here to engage the engineers. Another Panzer Grenadier squad deployed on out, and likely will go for 3 more. Engineers making their way forward, trying to capture some central points. And this point is starting to be captured on up. This point is being captured up by the Kettengrad as this Panzer Grenadier starts making its way forward. And the first engagement is coming in. The engineers have not even retaliated yet. We need to withdraw the squad, just trying to get a bit of fuel income. And Panzer Grenadier is going to capture that point immediately. Third squad of Panzer Grenadiers have now been deployed on out. It's a tank trap. Looks like there's 3 engineers out in the field. This squad is likely a rifleman, a 4th engineer? Wait, 4 engineers? Is this going to be a jeep coming out?
We are coming under fire! Fuel depot secured.
So what's actually going to be deployed out of here? I actually don't think it's a rifleman. I think it may be a jeep.
Munitions point secured, ready for orders.
It is a rifleman, so 4 engineer into a rifleman. It can work out, but maybe not exactly against Panzer Elite. Kettengrad does receive a bit of fire there. This point is a cutoff point, just now being captured on up. Panzer Grenadiers going straight for that point as well. Did I see a G43 upgrade on that squad as well? And that was cancelled. We got the riflemen and engineers over on this side of the map as these guys are fighting from light cover, getting some good damage in on the engineers themselves. The riflemen have received a couple bullets, and he has gone eye to this cutoff point as well. The southern munitions point have not been captured. And so the rifleman has received quite a bit of beating there. Engineers have captured the munitions point. As we've got the Kettengrad now making its advance. Second squad of rifleman squad is pushing way forward. And he's going to knock around that rifleman squad with the Kettengrad, knocking them out of cover and reducing their damage output, but the Kettengrad itself goes down. A little bit overextended.
We are losing ground.
The cutoff point has not been decaptured. The engineer squad is falling back as well. This could be a wiped with the Panzer Grenadiers right there, but he may not be paying attention to it. If he was paying attention, he could have got the wipe. Riflemen getting reinforced. Engineers are quite wounded. Need a triage to get that healed up. And there's a flamer on this squad as well, so he's deploying out some flamers.
Target has been secured. Squad ready for orders. Ready.
We got 3 squads of riflemen now charging through this sector. We got the G43 and River Panzer Grenadiers. 2 squads of G43s are here. He may does use a suppressive fire ability. Fresh Kettengrad deployed on now as well.
We are losing a sector.
He's great damage there on the rifleman squad. He may get the squad wipe. He's pretty low in health.
An
He does get the squad wipe there. Panzer Grenadier squads do fall back, so he does manage not to lose any squads alone while getting a full squad wipe. That's a very good pick.
We are losing territory.
Camp Groove Company completed. Is not eyeing for a logistics company for extra men. They got the Panzer Command. No, that's Panzer Support Command deployed on out. Why is it the Panzer Support Command looks like the Martyr and the Panzer Jaeger Command has the symbol for the Panzer IV-C? It's backwards, and I don't like it. So maybe eyeing for an early Panzer IV. Maybe it's eyeing for Panzer IV-C. Maybe not.
Forward supply lines are broken.
And the Grenadiers gain some great damage on the Flamer Engineer. He does fall back. Still potential for a squad wipe. Nope, those rounds do go ahead and miss. There's just no music playing. Let's switch over to the US player. There we go. Now we got some music. So I am interested in what he's going to build up the Panzer Support Command. Panzer Grenadiers lobbing their way forward, just running forward. Does force back the Flamer Engineers. Rifle squad advancing, may just want to get inside the garrison. He does go ahead and get inside the garrison, but this side doesn't really have a whole lot of windows now. Does abandon it. And we do got this unupgraded engineer squad, and also severely wounded, so won't be able to do much in the next engagement.
They're going after one of our munitions points.
Supply yard being built. He definitely needs a triage center, that's for sure. The funny thing is, it's called triage center. You don't heal people with triage. Triage is identifying ranking of what the wound status is and determine who you should treat first. Green is scratches, yellow is generally broken bones, red is threat to life, such as respiratory issues. Blue means as good as dead, black means is dead. And in combat, you treat the people who are green and yellow first before you treat people who have life-threatening conditions, because you need people back in the fight as soon as possible. You don't even bother treating people who are blue and black is already dead. Flame Engineers does get some great damage right there, and both of those Panzer Grenadier squads do fall back, receiving quite a bit of damage there. On the right side, Rifle squads capture the point. We could still have this Panzer Grenadier over here as well. Not upgrade G43s. Motor pool deployed out. He's likely eyeing for a Greyhound, which would be useful. Let's switch over to the Panzer Lead player. It is a short barrel Panzer IV. I do love seeing less common units. So the Panzer IV-C is loaded out, and the Greyhounds would not be a good item. He needs to get out an AT gun. Let's see what he's deploying out himself. It is a Greyhound. The Greyhound, of course, can lay down some landmines. The Panzer IV-C, of course, would be excellent for the infantry, and that engineer is wounded. Congrats with knocking around the rifleman. Didn't really need to, but anything to minimize damage. Currently, all VPs have not captured either, so both players have 500 tickets at almost a 9-minute mark as well. Greyhound has been deployed, so has a short-barreled Panzer IV-C. I think it's a C. It could be the F1. I do believe it's technically the C in this game. Greyhound does roll a miss there.
Task complete.
Task complete. Where is that Kettengrad? There it is. Oh, camouflage Kettengrad. That means he's gone for Luftwaffe ground forces. So the unknown doctrine for the US player so far. And finding the Panzer IV-C is not what he wants to see. He does get a pen there. Receives a pen there. He must be fighting against so many Panzer Lead players that he's used to deploying a Greyhound. And this player has just learned to play, if the meta is to play out a Greyhound, I shall play out the counter of the Greyhound, the Panzer IV-C. And he's in pursuit. You could take time to lay down landmines. We do got the AT gun here, but the trio center is in the way. He's going to avoid. Do have to take the shots of the Greyhound. You could take time to actually escape out to this direction. Trio center gets a bit of healing there as well. And he's actually set on up. He's finding angle there. So here comes multiple shots there. One more shot. He does get out of range in time. Now it's a good time to actually take out the Treehouse Center. I probably actually would have tried to actually take out the Treehouse Center. Maybe he's trying to go for it. I'm not sure what he's actually doing. So he's eyeing for the motor pool, not to the Treehouse Center.
Base is taking fire.
Got another AT gun being deployed on out. As for C is not invulnerable. He does have opportunity just to escape, assuming he gets lucky not hitting landmines. Though with Castle Vision, we know there's no landmines.
We're good to go.
Greyhound, of course, has been repaired on out, or repaired up. And the engineer's going to try to take time to repair up the motor pool. He sees something being built there. And he's going to throw some more rounds there onto the motor pool. He's going to rotate the turret around, and the Greyhound's going to back away as the turret finds smart. I guess not as soon as I thought it would be. Make it damage into there, could leave it dead. Does take it out there. That was horrible control by the Greyhound. When the turret starts rotating, he could just back off again.
We are losing a sector. Forces are
Now it's a good time just to back away. He's sustained a bit too much damage to stick around and hasn't done enough damage to the structures to warrant him to continue firing. No need to dive. But the AT gun does find a shot there. And does not take out the Panzer IV C.
Losing ground out there.
We've got the victory point.
So overall, great gameplay by the Panzer Elite player. Though honestly, I would not have targeted, like I said beforehand, I would not target the motor pool. The Treehouse Center is vulnerable, and taking that out will cost us a bit of resources to rebuild it, and wounding your opponent's infantry can be very useful for the Panzer Grenadiers. Because small amounts of health makes it unable to get healed up to full health is quite big, in my opinion. Another Greyhound deployed on the field. Not necessarily guaranteed that this Greyhound will do any better, but he does have 2 AT guns engaged Panzer IV C now. So he may just use the Greyhound to engage the infantry. The Panzer IV C, upon seeing the Greyhound, needs to hunt down the Greyhound.
We're good to go. We're getting hit pretty good.
On the left side, the Flamer Engineers did not do much. Panzer IV C is still very wounded, and this point has been captured up by the Kettengrad. We know that the Panzer player has gone for lift-off ground forces,
we are losing a sector.
but nothing what the Panzer Elite player has done would alert him that he has gone for Panzer Elite for lift-off ground forces. But he does spot the lift-off squad now, unless he was not paying attention, because that squad did get wiped. So there's a possibility he doesn't get spotted, but there's also, of course, some casualties there.
Put her in gear.
So now we should know that the doctrine has been spotted there, but still unknown doctrine. What doctrine would you go for now, fighting against the Panzer IV C like that? Rangers wouldn't be half bad, but it would also be a bit of a equal trade. Same thing with airborne troops, but the airborne troops can deploy out some quick and AT guns. Maybe he has to go for armor, or able to engage that Greyhound no problem. Not Greyhound, Panzer IV C. Does get a suppressive fire ability there from the G43 before it falls back, but the Flood the Flame Engineer trying to burn that squad does force it back as well. Panic does connect there with the Greyhound. And he may lose his Greyhound as well. Does get a lucky miss or unlucky miss, depends who you're rooting for. And the Panzer Grenadiers do fall back. And this is going to take time to clean up these tank traps. Luftwaffe squad does get forced back. The engineer squad will need to fall back as well. This VP has not been captured. The capture is neutral, and only 8 tickets have been lost for the U.S. player.
Ground out there.
This player is pulling out a sniper, and now they've got the Panzer IV-C, finds the angle there onto the AT gun while it's not set on up, and gets a direct hit, wiping out all 3 members. Ooh. And it's going to take time to clean up that AT gun entirely.
Standing by.
He's not also setting gun up for increased rate of fire either. We have a mortar half-track here.
A fuel point is being seized.
AT gun does go down.
We're in the shit now.
Half-track fires, rolls a miss.
Listen.
Composition B is in. Troops can now make sticky bombs.
Sticky bombs could be useful against Panzer
We are
IV-C.
losing the munitions sector.
Flame Engineers going forward and forward, does pin one of them down, and Flame Engineers gets some great damage there, forcing back all those squads. Panzer IV-C advancing, does set on up, but does set up on front of the AT gun. Sticky bomb does get found. Continuously firing, a lot of fire there onto the Panzer IV-C. Gets some good hits there, rolls around with the AT gun, takes out the AT gun, fully destroys it. The Greyhound should be able to get the rear armor to take out that Panzer IV-C. The Panzer IV-C has damaged engine as well. Another sticky bomb there, not hitting the rifleman squad right in front of him. Another damaged engine there, main gun destroyed, so that Panzer IV-C is dead. And it looks like another destroyed engine crit there with the Greyhound. Does throw a sticky bomb there when he didn't really need to. I guess he really wants to free up this Greyhound sooner rather than later. And there goes the Panzer IV-C.
Engineers engaging the enemy. AT deployed.
Listen up, people.
57 mm.
We do have the another AT gun deployed and out. The AT gun will be useful if he deploys out any more armor assets, but we don't know what our additional assets he's going to deploy out. Got logistics come deploying out. Maybe eyeing for the 4-man squads right now. Maybe just transitioning to just infantry.
Repairs complete.
Nothing being queued up there now. Got the Panzerjäger command being deployed out as well. The off ground squad and the Panzer Grenadiers G43s making their advance. Forces back the Flame Engineers. Riflemen do against at the garrison, and now we do have a sniper, his 3rd kill. As the mortar half-track is throwing some rounds there on the VP, trying to stop it from being captured. Greyhound does get some good hits on the fuck ground forces, so does the sniper.
We are in the shit now.
US sniper deployed on out. We got also incendiary mortar deployed from the mortar half-track. Stealth Kettengrad, of course, have good spotting. And that sniper may be spotted from the Kettengrad. It's sort of hard for me to tell. Yeah, it's not running away. Or, no, it is uncamouflaged running away. Patrick's gets a snipe there. 2 snipers spotted out. Good hits there on the Greyhound, but does manage to escape on out. The striking squad will get overwhelmed by the Panzer Grenadiers. These Panzer Grenadiers are advancing, trying to get that Greyhound. And hasn't retreated back all the way. Got damage in the crit there, but this one does fall back. Did he wipe up the other one? The other one may be fully wiped. Nope, there it is. 1 model remaining.
Taking fire here.
Rifleman squad does fall back. We got level 1 production. Still an unknown doctrine. He has a good amount of infantry, that's for sure. 2 snipers, 2 riflemen, 3 flame engineers, AT gun, and a Greyhound. I'm not sure what doctrine the US player should go for. It has a bit of a fuel flow, so perhaps transition to some M10s or to some Sherman tanks. Doesn't have a massive manpower float. He could go for an M2. Suppressive fire does come on board, force back the engineer. And the camouflage grad course can spot those snipers.
Under fire!
Point is ours. What say we lock it down?
.57 mil at your service.
Await your orders, sir.
Panzer Grenadier Squad does fall back. Mortar half track still alive, unaffected, and that's a flak 88. That's a fully built flak 88. Very defensive flak 88. Should be able to protect his flanks from any sort of Greyhound harassment. And help siege away at long range. He's now going to be force fire on the ground to take out that cover. And we do have the 4-man squad upgrade as well. So it looks like the Wehrmacht player, not Wehrmacht player, Panzer players transition to an infantry-based army. So the 2 snipers here, that can cause quite a bit of bleed, but the 4-man squad will give him a bit more durability to the snipers. Of course, he did split his fire as well on the Panzer Grenadiers, so he needs to focus one down to force a retreat. Snipers do get a shot there, being poorly micro because they're just sort of dancing around a little bit. Greyhound starts to make advances. They're hitting this AT gun. Let's get one model there before falling on back.
We are losing a sector.
That's a Kettengrad there. Mortar half track still here. Over on the flank, Panzer squad does get forced back by the Flame Engineers. This Panzer squad could get forced back as well. The VPs are still incredibly high for both players, 444 to 489. Panzer squad to make its advance. More of the hedges are going on down to the flak 88. And a third US sniper deployed on out. Going for a lot of snipers.
We're losing ground out there.
He could... With the flak 88 there, he could go for M2 so barrage it from range. He goes for army, he can barrage it from range with the Calliope as well.
Point is ours. What say we lock it down?
So I don't think airborne would be a good idea. Patrick does connect there. One. Oh, goes to the snipers are splitting the fire to the Luftwaffe squad as well. The Luftwaffe squad will need to fall back. They will get overwhelmed. They're about to get wiped out, but can still get wiped out there by the riflemen. Riflemen out, Veteran C2. And Luftwaffe ground forces will escape on out there. Now we got 222, just purely meant to hunt down those snipers. All the snipers do get inside this garrison, does get refueled there. Damage engine crit there on the Greyhounds. Perfect time for the 222 to advance and hunt down these snipers. Let's go ahead and swing around. Black 88 must be out of range of the Greyhound or not being properly tasked to the Greyhound. And the armor car is severely wounded right now. AT gun likely got it hit in. Snipers do back out of the garrison here. One Hellcat deployed on out. Hellcat, of course, will be allowed to run down those 222s to save as snipers, but of course, won't be able to run around too much with that flak 88 in the region. Very large region. 222 has been repaired on up. Of course, got the Panzer Grenadiers here in the mortar half track. This VP could be decaptured. And we've got the firing line of snipers pushing the way forward.
Losing a victory point. We are losing a victory point.
Kettengrad will take time to decapture this point. AT gun advancing. AT gun's not setting on up, but the Greyhound's also advancing well. Doesn't decapture it all the way. Black 88 rolls a miss there on the Greyhound. And itself, Kaliningrad needs to stay alive just for spawning for the Flak 88. Connects right there with the Greyhound now. And he has not responded yet. If this next shot hits, bars has been researched. And main gun destroyed, crit.
Our forces are taking
Now the riflemen are now receiving some fire there. Got the rifleman squads here, hitting some of the models of the Panzergrenadiers that got on the other side of the hedge. And we also got an incendiary mortar right there. And it looks like this Greyhound may have went down. Actually, the incendiary mortar. Yeah, one vehicle kill. The incendiary mortar claims the kill on the Greyhound.
Listen up, rifle squad.
Sniper ready to do my part.
Snipers are advancing. We do have Vet 1, Vet 2, Vet 1 engineers. There's quite a bit of veterancy on the engineers. Sometimes we may see the suppressive fire ability right there. Yep, it does suppress right there. The Vet 2 flame engineers push way forward. Snipers do connect against that Panzergrenadiers. Bazooka shot does come, or Panzer does come forward. Sticky bomb onto the Flak 88. He's gonna try and run down that mortar half track.
in action.
Ooh, when the snipers went down. Not sure to what though. Pause to the 222. This squad does get burned up a bit. That's one reason why he was microwing up north to hit those snipers rather than saving his mortar half track. Mortar half track needs to fall back. Severely wounded. These forces start pushing way forward. Does run into the flamer engineers. So there's be a lot of AoE damage there. Trying to save his mortar half track. It's getting more lower and lower. And it looks like one of the Panzergrenadiers do go down right there, getting burned alive. He still has not tasked over here. He's trying to get that rifleman squad, but these guys need to fall back. That's a lot of damage coming from those engineers. A lot of sauerkraut there. Extra crispy. Hellcat starts pushing it over there. I'm not so sure for what reason. The Flak 88 will give the mortar half track cover from it. And we got the Luftwaffe ground forces start advancing, getting some free shots down the engineers. Kaliningrad still here. Fresh butterfly bombs, but getting beaten up by the bar riflemen. A couple of them do manage to get camouflaged. Let's get a hit there on that rifleman.
We hold the initiative. At this rate, we'll be taking Berlin by Christmas.
Ready.
Taking fire here!
Rifleman squad receiving quite a bit of fire there from the G-43s. That 2 flamer engineers advancing, but immediately get suppressed there by this backline Panzergrenadiers. Capture points are in favor of the U.S. player, but the margin is still very, very small. 444 to 391.
We're losing a point out there.
Did I hear something big? A Bergantiga. He's using the Bergantiga to recover the mortar half track that actually did go down right there. Did the Kaliningrad go down as well? Not sure why he got the Bergantiga. Where's the Panzer IV C carcass again? The Kalingrad's still alive. The 222 is probably dead up here. Yeah, there's the Panzer IV C.
We're losing ground out there.
There's a down Kaliningrad there, but I know it jumped on the Bergantiga, but I'm not sure why he actually got that. Oh. Apparently he was happy to see the camera. More of the butterfly bombs are here. The snipers could...
One of our snipers is KO.
Oh! And that was, I think, the fresh sniper. No, this guy has 6 kills. This is the fresh sniper. The US player has 9 command points as well, so you still can select a doctrine. Minesweeper's deployed up with the US player, very nice. There's some butterfly bombs here. Supposed to lay down, yeah, more butterfly bombs. Vet 3 Flame Engineer, very nice. This Vet 2 Flame Engineers, all the Flame Engineers in this region gain some great damage there. Doesn't get any wipes there, but does force it back. These guys need to fall back as well. The mortar half track gains some good hits. Hellcat is camouflage there. Doesn't have any good targets in front of him. The Burgundy's a good target. 10 command points. When's the last time you see the number 10 right there? Double digits. And you got another 222 deployed on out. Got another butterfly bombs. Yeah, there's a handful of butterfly bombs over here. Looks like he dropped another round here as well as right here. I'm not sure what the Flak 88's actually firing. Looks like he's hitting more of these hedges.
Going after a fuel point.
Rifleman do throw a sticky bomb there onto 222. He can lose it because he has the Burgundy to recover it. Just takes a bit of time to repair it. Gets a fully immobilized crit. That's a little bit unlucky. But let's find a butterfly bomb there. Then maybe some of the tree path getting a wipe there. He's actually getting inside the garrison. That is going to get him wiped. I guess not. He's tried to blitz as well, but he didn't realize it's fully immobilized. Hellcat's advancing. Black 88. That's not rotating his gun. Does spot the Burgundy there. And it's going to be focused on the carcass. Black 88 does connect with the Hellcat there. And Panstruck does not. Engineers here.
Capture territory.
Going for the Calliops is probably a good idea. He has to deal with that Black 88 somehow, or just stay out of its range with some large amount of artillery barrages. Nope. Here more butterfly bomb detonations. Not sure where. Oh, it's fresh ones being thrown on out. The snipe, he may not realize as well, the sniper's going straight for a butterfly bomb. There's multiple butterfly bombs in this region. Calio pushes his way forward, trying to go for some close range barrages. And looks like both the snipers still alive. Mortar half track now receiving massive amounts of fire there from the Calio. It can potentially go down there. Does not go down there. Burgundy is going to be tasked to get it repaired.
Ready for action.
Point is ours. What say we lock it down? Take cover.
So a fresh US sniper as well. 2 kills. You got these Pence Grenadiers eyeing for past the VP. It'd be a good idea to go for the VPs at this point in time because both sides, the US player has a massive amount of munitions, which he can use for various armor support abilities, but does usually rely on having some M10s out or Sherman tanks out.
Operation posts report we are
Or should I say Hellcats, not M10s. I suppose you could do it with Mass Greyhound. Snipers start firing away, get some good hits there on the Panzer Grenadiers. They will just be able to move forward to get some good damage, as well as with the Flamer Engineers. Kenigrad does manage to escape on out of there.
Got hostiles in the compound. Bases under attack. Observation posts report we are losing a sector.
Got some artillery raining on in over here. Kenigrad
Losing ground out there.
avoiding firing. Got the sniper getting thrown some shots there onto the, what's it called? Flip off ground forces.
Our forces are taking casualties.
Forces taking casualties. He may have lost a sniper. all his veteran snipers went down. I think the butterfly bombs. Not sure where. Those butterfly bombs just taking out those valuable snipers. Hello, I just saw your message over there. Sorry about that. And now I have a verbal wind deployed on now. That should be useful helping engage these forces. Get some great damage there on the flamer engineers.
Okay,
We got, looks like mixed AT, and it turns to the right.
Taking out more and more of those hedges. He does not need to deploy any more Flak 88s. His issue is not fighting armor, it's fighting infantry. Though he's doing a good job taking out those snipers with butterfly bombs. So I think the verbal ones will be a good idea. I'm more impartial to hull down Panzer IV Cs setup ones, but there's pros and cons between the two, that's for sure.
Watch your footing.
We have a threat to our victory. Supplies are in. Field repair is now available.
Sniper does get Veteran C1 there. Mine detected. There must be some butterfly bombs. Were they actually butterfly bombs here? Verbal Wind does fire a couple bullets there, or cannon shots. Technically, what, 20 millimeters? So they're technically 4 individual cannons.
Minefield's clean. I got a bad feeling about this, Sarge. What?
And here comes a Callio barrage now raining on in. We would like to take out that garrison. Not like that really means much. Luftwaffe squad does fall back. Whirlwind could be a bit more aggressive. The Panzer player has been pretty passive ever since his Panzer IV C went down. And US players should just perhaps get a lot of armor. I would just say save up his manpower to get out some Sherman tanks. He's just been low on manpower the entire game. Get out a pair of Sherman tanks, or at least a Sherman tank, and just start pushing forward with Allied War Machine. He has 700 munitions. He needs to be a bit more aggressive with his vehicles. He has
is down to 300 points.
Yeah, he doesn't have a Greyhound anymore, so can't use that either. Or deploy out a Sherman tank, maybe a Sherman Crocodile, and just be hyper aggressive. Central VP is not being captured up. That's another problem with the Panzer Elite player. He's just not really focused on the VP game enough. The US player has time on his side.
Losing ground out there.
Does go some shots there. This flame engineer getting body blocked and unable to get his other flamer in the fight. This squad does fall back. Now this other flamer can advance. Hellcat does get spotted there. Could go ahead and decamouflage, try to go for a crush, but didn't need to.
The enemy is after our victory.
3 US snipers still, or replenished. And Central VP will be decaptured there by the Kettengrad.
They keep fucking coming!
That flame engineer probably won't stay around for much longer, but the sniper support just needs to stay around for just long enough. One shot there, all those guys got ready to be reloaded. Rolls a miss there. And ran out of range with that other guy. Callio barrage now raining on in, get some good hits there on the purple one. The Burgundy should still be alive. 2-2 is alive as well. Or there's a fresh one. 0 kills. Burgundy needs to take time to repair up that Barbara one. Its only job is to repair at this point. There's nothing to recover other than Kettengrad over here, which would be totally Worf. Partially, actually, because he is Luftwaffe ground forces. Having some stealth spotters never hurts. He must have enough command points for his Pershing, right? It's 4 command points, not 5? I forget exactly. Great hit there by the Hellcat there. That actually may have been a whole bunch of sniper shots, actually. Wait, that seemed a little bit too close. Is there another Flak 88? Nope, that may have been the same. Flak 88s can reach farther than just I imagine. Great mortar half-track hit there, forcing back the Minesweeper. Oh, that's also the dead Kettengrad there. The Burgundy can recover it.
Sector is ours. We're taking fire. Let's get this done with, God damn it.
Let's use the Pressify ability there to win the fight.
Losing ground out there.
These forces do fall back, snipers included. Doesn't look like there's any more butterfly bombs in the tree path.
They're taking one of our points.
Patrick does connect there with the Sherman Calliope, but will take a bit more shots to take it out. Flame Engineers are here to ward him off as well.
Losing ground out there.
Calliope barrage now raining on in, trying to hit that Burgundiga. Can he recover the Kettengrad? To recover 2 Kettengrads. Very worth. Very indeed. Rifleman could go forward, capture that point. AT gun here.
Ready for orders, sir.
This game's just been oddly just both passive and mix of aggression. Just not action-packed, but not completely devoid of action. It's a weird game, honestly. Both sides just pushing forward single squads. Mortar's getting some good hits on in. Kettengrad Carcass is still alive, so those can't be recovered. Orbital One's actually not pushing the way forward, trying to get some good damage in. So does the 222. But that Orbital One almost goes down to the Helicat. But of course, he does have the Burgundiga. Dude starts making way forward. This Kettengrad carcass does get cleaned on up. The other one's still alive. Does clean up some more butterfly bombs. That may be a fresh batch there. Yep, that's definitely a fresh batch.
Our front lines are collapsing.
Any Panzergrenadier squads do get forced back by those riflemen. Cyber started to push way forward. Got Vet 2, Vet 1, and Vet 0. Instead of fresh Calliope, yeah, got 2 Calliopes now in the field. I'm bringing some more artillery. Now he's at pop cap, however. If you're going to lose any squad, AT gun's been pretty passive, seems like. Got a fresh Kettengrad here that was not recovered from the Kettengrad corpse. Now Calliope barrage ring on in. Not like something got taken out there, but it could have been just base items, or not base items, map items. That was already down, so I'm not sure what actually crashed. Oh, sniper went down? Could have been a missed shot from...
Sniper, ready for orders.
Or could have been a... That's explosion there. He found another butterfly bomb. He's taking like 4 or 5 snipers to those butterfly bombs. Engine damage does come forward. He does use Allied War Machine in case he does lose it. He has munitions to waste, so might as well. And that completely whiffed. Allied War Machines almost goes off cooldown. And the Overwatch is still in action. 1 second, and there it goes. Now the self-Kettengrad is pushing way forward, and is taking out the after Allied War Machine is already worn off. Bad luck for the US player. He wanted that to go down from that previous strafe. So is that lucky or unlucky that missed? Because usually it's lucky for the person who's actually trying to get the hit, but in this case, it was lucky for the Peasantly player not to get the hit. Weird game. Those snipers are actually quite wounded, perhaps on a mortar. And he's going to get inside this garrison there. You will not be able... No, he's not getting inside the garrison. And it's actually still a butterfly bomb there. Here comes the Calliope barrage raining on in, hitting these forces, getting some damage there on the Burgundiga.
Our supply lines are being threatened.
Patrick are captured that side. Flame engineers going to say hello. And making a order to go of sauerkraut, extra crispy. I gotta stop using that joke. I just like that joke.
New recruits in. We're back to full strength.
Ready.
Minefield's clean.
Losing a victory point. We are losing a victory point.
Oh. Engineer squad does manage to escape on out of there. Just the Vet 1 won as well. The Vet 2 and Vet 3 start making their advance. Luftwaffe ground forces are capturing the point. They have 1 level of accuracy, veteran C, blah. And the verbal one is firing away, hitting some of these forces. Rifleman squad trying to chase down these Panzer Grenadiers. Does get suppressed down. Copy these snipers could be advancing. Bergantiga is still a little bit wounded, but it's not really any threat of going down.
Fall in, man. Engineers, take it easy.
These engineers will see quite a bit of fire from these vehicles. Can't capture the point where those things are around.
Taking fire. Sniper, taking fire.
Patrick starting to make his way forward. Does not get a shot off there.
Second strike, but the day's not over.
Snipers do force back that Patrick squad. As this Patrick squad trying to push its way forward, we got another Callio barrage raining on this region. Finds a good hit there on the infantry. Potential wipe, does wipe with the Panzer Grenadier there. Luftwaffe ground force may get taken out, so loses the motor half track. Carcass is fully destroyed, so the Bergantiga is not useful for right there. 2-2 is falling back. Got a second 2-2 here. Does find a hit there on the Hellcat. Maybe a good idea to get out his Pershing. The Pershing would allow him to slowly get veterancy to make it even more deadly when he needs infantry squads. He definitely has enough command points, that's for sure.
Keep those rifles ready. Objective secure. Rifle squad defending.
Dash complete.
AT gun getting slowly whittled away from the armored car.
They're firing on us!
Does take out the AT gun there, which could give the Panzer League player more room to deploy out assets.
Losing a munition
Let's
sector.
look at the Panzer League player, see what he has. He has a lot of fuel, a small amount of munitions, not enough for a loiter or Overwatch. Patrick does connect the Calliope there. And 2-2 is still skirting around. Hellcat skirting around. Panzer Grenadiers capturing up that munitions point. And this 2-2 is still running around as well. Patricks do connect with that Calliope, but rolls some misses. The camouflage Kaliningrad is still here. Another Calliope barrage raining on in. Granted, these forces getting some good damage on them, but looks like they're largely raining far. Patrick does get forced back there.
Proving its superiority once again.
Another Calliope barrage right there. This is going to be a much deadlier one, hitting all of these assets.
The Americans are capturing a sector.
Bergantiga is now quite wounded. May need to use the Luftwaffe squad to help get that repaired on up. Rifleman squads are still advancing. There's the Veteran C3 Rifleman squad. 2-2s are getting some good damage in, thanks to the fact he's on negative ground. Think about will go and get it snared, fully immobilizing it. Take the Luftwaffe ground forces quite some time to get that prepared on up. Black 88 does have 1 level of accuracy, Veteran C. 13 infantry kills. And the 2-2 is trying to fire some autocannon rounds onto that German Calliope, but will not be successful. And it's actually seeing a bit of damage there from that Hall mounted machine gun.
You're fixed.
Bergantiga is still fully immobilized. Actually, yeah, there's Luftwaffe ground forces.
Where's our supporters? Take
Does force back these squads. 222s are quite healthy at this moment. And Bergantiga did not get focused down. Keeping Bergantiga alive would prevent his opponent from not deploying more population space, but he has actually quite a bit of population space, so that's not going to be an issue. Wait, Panzer Air Command just now got research? Is he now saving up for Panthers? I guess he's now getting for Panthers. That's usually an upgrade don't you see much earlier. I just assumed he had Panther research, but now looking at it, he doesn't have Panther research.
We have lost a unit to the enemy's advances.
Somehow that Bergantiga is still alive. Yeah, it didn't receive a single rocket hit somehow. Dead Kaliningrad there. That can be covered by Bergantiga. And Flak Panzer Ostwind does have a little bit more than half health. Does get a sticky bomb there over the destroyed building. This rocket squad trying to go for a sticky bomb themselves. Does throw a sticky bomb there on the 222. Best lead the Bergantiga alive. It's going to be sinking a lot of repairs. Does actually throw a sticky bomb there. Destroyed engine there, so it's now very immobile.
Our base is under attack.
And the Rifleman squad does throw another sticky bomb there. That could be the death of the Bergantiga. All depends on the death crits, but goes down to the Calliope rocket instead. Black 88 now receiving some fire there from the Calliope, but it is in range of the base HQ, so get some healing there. Panther research now available. Does consume 24 population, but he does have enough population by 10 right now. Panzer Grenadiers making their way forward. Does have Allied War Machine activated. I'm not sure if anything actually went down. That's the already dead Calliope. 2 being focused down. Now here comes the strafing run. Looks like Allied War Machine wore off and takes out the Hellcat for free. Though the Hellcat wasn't doing all too much, but with the Panthers about ready to be deployed on now, it will be useful soon. Flamer engineers do spot the Kaliningrad there, trying to capture that point. And yeah, the Bergantiga did get cleaned up. You can use a Bergantiga to recover the Bergantiga. Ensure the Bergantiga can recover the other Bergantiga if it goes down.
The enemy is seizing our territory.
He just spent a lot of manpower there. Looks like he spent his manpower on the Luftwaffe ground forces. There are sticky bombs there on this 222. Does get fully out of control there. Because he had around 700 manpower, but now he has 300, less than 200 at a time.
Send your mission orders.
Which I know he spent it on Luftwaffe ground forces, but I'm not sure what else he actually spent
Our
it on.
Luftwaffe brothers are available for deployment.
Oh, Luftwaffe brothers? No, that's just Luftwaffe ground forces, not the Fallschirmjägers. Calliope barrage raining on in. We'll find the Flak 88. Does lose a model there. So one model does go down. This HQ may not be close enough for reinforcing it. But its health will get healed up. Patrick started making his way forward. Got the 2 Flamer engineers trying to get some damage in. Get some good hits there, but far from going down. Does fall back with the Panzer Grenadiers now. The amount of munitions that the US player has, it may be a good idea to just get grenade research. He still has nearly 600 munitions. That's a lot of munitions. I'll also get grenade research and just start throwing them out everywhere. Let's go for another sniper. So there's 2 snipers here. Both of them have 0 kills, so they're 2 fresh snipers who may immediately find butterfly bombs again. Getting some great damage on the Panzer Grenadiers with the Flamer engineers. Especially C2 on this guy here. This one is suppressed, but nearly at full health. Calliope barrage ring on in. Looks like got a number of kills there. 2 on the Luftwaffe ground forces. Black 88 fires a shot there towards a rifleman with a stealth Kaliningrad for spotting. 18 hits there. Does spot the stealth cannon grad. He may throw a sticky bomb into it. He has plenty of munitions. Usually I say this a waste, but at this point in time, stealth cannon grads are incredibly dangerous to him. He did not get a stealth sticky bomb there. That guy looks like he was trying to throw one. Black 88 still has 2 members there that can be healed up. Horrible Wind is still in the region. Gets a nice suppression there on the rifleman squad when they're in negative ground. And it looks like the Kenigrad does spot. He's spotted by the Sherman Calliope.
Our supply lines are being threatened.
As Grenadiers and Wolfhawk ground forces are making the way toward the central VP. This VP is being decaptured by this Kenigrad.
Territory sector being captured.
We do have a fresh Hellcat now on the field, ready to engage the various armored units, but that Flak A still poses a pretty big threat to him. This VP is captured by the Panzer Lead player. And his Panzer Grenadier squad is falling back. Calliope's making an advance. 7 kills, 6 kills, 1 vehicle, tank kill. Now Panthers deployed on out. Hellcat will need some buddies to help him fight. Calliope barrage ring on it. He needs to hit those Calliope barrages onto the Panthers. Let's use Allied War Machine there. Destroy engine crit. And it's going to stop firing against the Hellcat. Trying to stall out, but actually does get destroyed there. Passed by the 222. No vehicle skills. No vehicle skill there. I'm not sure why I took it out. Calliope does go down. Does get his Allied War Machine fully fulfilled. But needs more armor. Minesweeper Engineers does go down. The other Calliope's going to be ran down by the Panthers. Now we've got Global Field Repairs being activated. This one could throw a barrage there on this Panther. It will have damaged engine. Does throw some rounds there onto the other Panther, trying to force it back. Hellcat does roll a miss there. Throws actually rounds there, mostly on the Horrible Wind. US player's not looking all too good. He doesn't have a massive manpower float. He's perhaps getting out more armored assets. Some extra Hellcats would be useful.
Sector being captured.
Anti-gun set on up. Does get a bounce there on the Panther. Does get a sticky bomb there on this Panther as well. So if someone has damage in it, this one have a damage engine as well. So they'll both slow down to a crawl. The 2-2 can be focused down now with the Hellcat. It is severely wounded. The Flak 88 could be almost in range. Trying to blitz on the way, trying to avoid the Hellcat. Does manage to escape on that. He can't pursue it. The Flak 88 will just rip it apart. Or the Pantrax. Pantrax are lining up a shot now. And does connect there. Looks like the US player has backed out of the game. He's lost a bit too much. That was a very, very iffy game the entire game. Let's go ahead and fast forward now since the game is pretty much over. I'm not sure what either player should have done. Maybe it would have been better to go for infantry rather than armor. He had not spent his munitions. I think the biggest problem with the US player was he wasn't spending his munitions. And a Pershing would have been a bit more handy than replacing it with a Hellcat at the end. Maybe end up Pershing out and being a bit more aggressive to spend his munitions because he had up to like 700, 800 munitions at a time. By the way, this is Anagrade saying thank you for watching and on to the next replay.